we were just talking about that. You mentioned cutscene, and there is a lot of the dynamic quest line, like the main storyline. Then there's like major side story with characters where there's a couple of different romance options where there's several quests, and then there's a lot of one-off quests.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really want to kind of like take the time to like mention like how the variety of these things go, because aside from the music being eclectic where you have like both sides of the spectrum, the same thing goes for this, where you're looking at like some of the one-off things. Like there's one you run into where I know I've talked with Josh in the past about this because we have very different outcomes, where a guy has an electronic penis that starts malfunctioning and catching on fire. And so the quest is him begging you, please take me to a hospital or whatever so I can get this worked on. And so I'm like, all right, dude needs to go to the hospital. Let's go. Let's do this. So I immediately take him there. He gets things, taken care of, and then, he doesn't pay me or thank me because he's in a rush. And later on, I get an email from, thank you, appreciate it, I got the new model, blah, blah, blah.
My outcome was I was driving him to the destination, like following the tracker markers, and then all of a sudden he goes, pull over, pull over, pull over, and I pull over, and he gets out, and his dick explodes.
Which is the proper reaction, right? Because it's just ridiculous. So you have those which, whatever, it's just weird, wild world. And then there's another one where you run into, outside of the giant mega, apartment complex you live in, there's a vending machine that gains sentience and starts like providing like marital advice to people and stuff like that. And so it's like, someone ends up like suicidal and goes to it, and like it saves her more or less, and so she keeps coming back and she develops a full friendship with this vending machine that just has an AI personality that became sentient. And then throughout the quest line, like it becomes like, oh wow, this saved that girl, but then it got repoed because at that point the machine is malfunctioning, and then you have to like be involved with it being shut down, and it gives its parting wish for you to tell her, and then her coping with the world and like living now that she's lost her friend more or less. Like it balances a lot of weird, like this shouldn't make sense, but I get why this feels. So it's just,
it makes sense in the world of Cyberpunk.
And there's a lot in this game that should just be stupid. Like if you write it down on a piece of paper, you go, that's silly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even almost kind of silly in the context of the game, but it just all sort of just ends up fitting somehow. Like another side quest you get is you get this